Hello, this is Brigitte Heitland from Zen Chic. Quotation has hit stores recently, and I would like to introduce my patterns I created to feature that line. And let's start with PRISM. You'll find the pattern on my website www.brigitteheitland.de/shop, and if you click on the purchase button, you will see it says includes 3 files. That means it includes the sewing instructions as well as templates, and it includes also a foundation paper piecing sheet. When you print those templates and paper piecing sheets out, please make sure that you set your printing options on actual size. It has also a proof of an 1-inch square, so you can make sure that your printout is on the right ratio. It comes on 6 sheets for all the templates, and then both foundation paper piecing sheets have an extra file, means so you don't have to print out all the 6 sheets when you only need the foundation paper piecing. So for each block you would need a 1 foundation paper piecing sheet, and this comes in 2 pages, so you see the pages overlap a little bit, and on that little bit of overlap you put on your glue and glue them together so they match, and then you cut out the square. So it means you prepare the templates and the sheets before you start cutting, and they look like that. We have 3 templates for the background fabrics. Some of them will be used in the reversed mode too, and then you have 1 template for the prints, which will also be used in the reversed mode. To make most efficient use of your background fabric, you can place the templates like in this sample, and please make sure that you turn the template D and C once in a while, so you get enough reversed pieces for the blocks you will make as a reversed version. So how many blocks will you need is all given in the pattern. For your print, layer cake is a great way to go, because a layer cake gives you the variety of 42 fabrics mostly, and it is an efficient way to cut out the pieces without wasting too much. So the 10-inch by 10-inch layer cake square will be folded in half, so you have a 5-inch by 10-inch folded piece, and you lay down your template bay onto that folded piece, and when you cut out, you get actually 2 pieces, 1 piece B and 1 piece be reversed. So it gives you an equal amount of all the colors and prints for the quilt. You will basically make 3 types of blocks. One type has both print shapes in, and the other types have only a single shape in. Those will be on the border, and the bows are reversed, so you have to go to the pattern and read how many of each type you will need. Let's start with the first type using 2 prints inside. To make this block, you need your foundation paper piecing sheet. You need a background piece template A. Then from B, you need a B and a reversed with a print fabric. And from C, you need C and C reversed from the background fabric. You start by laying your printed foundation paper piece face down and place template A fabric on top in the middle. And on the edge, with right sides together, you place a piece B so that the edges, the long edges, are matching. And you pin it in place. Then you flip around this complete thing so you can sew on the printed side, and you sew exactly onto the marked line. With stitch length, I would recommend for 1.5. You can even go with a little bit of a thicker needle that helps you later that the paper is well perforated and you can rip it off more easily. So this is the piece when all the both fabrics are stitched on. And then you flip it after stitching, you fold back the paper on the seam line exactly, and you trim off the excess fabric to 1/4 inch. That gives you a neat and clean edge. Then you press your fabric, the yellow one, flat, and you again fold the paper on the marked line back and trim the excess fabric of the yellow fabric to 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this trimmed edge is a perfect guideline helping you to place the next piece of fabric. So now you go back to the front and you place your piece C exactly on top of piece B, right sides together, edges matching. And again, you pin it in place, flip the complete thing around, and on the back side you stitch exactly on the marked line. It looks like that. So now you fold back your paper on the marked line of shape A and trim the excess fabric of fabric A back to 1/4 inch, so you have the right seam allowance here. Then flip the complete thing back like that, and now you place a piece B, the green one, so that right sides are onto each other and the long edges are matching. You pin that in place, you flip the complete thing back so you can sew on the back side onto the marked line exactly. Now you trim back the excess to 1/4 inch, and press the green fabric, and then you fold back the paper on the marked line between section B and section C, and you trim the excess fabric to 1/4 of an inch back, which gives you again the guideline for the next piece to place. So now you flip the complete thing around again. You place piece C, long edges matching, right sides onto each other on the green piece, and you sew on the back side on the marked line. You press the white fabric, and then you have your finished block. And now it is time to trim it to the perfect square. So let's flip it back, and now you trim off all 4 edges so that you have left 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And now when everything is fine, you can rip off your paper and you have your perfect block with 2 inserted prints. This is one of the block types. Now you need 2 more block types, and these are basically made in the same manner, only that you have to insert only 1 print. Means you don't start with a shape A, you start with a shape D and place that accordingly, and from that point on you go forward as we did with the 2 inserted prints. The pattern will give you instructions of how many blocks you have to sew from each type. And later you will put your blocks together to a grid, and you will add the upper and lower border, and will have a finished, beautiful, striking prism quilt. I hope you like that pattern as much as I do, and you will find it in my shop. The link is below. So now to the next idea you can make with the quotation fabric or any other fabric, and this is called Play a Card. Let's look at that one. It's a beginner-friendly quilt, and you start with 2 charm packs, and it's so easy to make that you want to make more and more, or you will maybe make such a pattern for a baby quilt, for a lap-size quilt, whatever. You will have fun with that one too. If you liked this video, you might also be interested in more ideas about what to do with the quotation line. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you get notified each time when I publish a new video.